Hey, welcome back to the Gamerpreneur podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Bradford Carlton. Today, we're going to talk about the difference between the fantastic and the flops. So I was doing some presentations over the summer of 2020. Every day I was going to go live. I did go live at 9 a.m. Pacific every single day. And I was doing all kinds of business teachings and classes and discussing esports and content creators and streamers and regular businesses. And every single day I brought up a new topic. And largely I was trying to figure out what topics were resonating with my audience. And so one day I did a training on, I think it was called, you have to be playing the games that nobody else is. Depends on if it's plural or not. Anyway, you got to be playing the games that nobody else is, right? And so how do I figure that out? Well, you go to a site like Sullynome and it'll tell you how many people are currently playing a game, or over the past month, how many people have played it, the average viewers, the peak viewers, that sort of thing. And it was really fascinating for a lot of people. It was actually probably my most watched episode that I had done. And I had something like, for a half-hour video, I had something like 300 people watch it in that half hour. I think I had a peak of like 20 people. And I'd only been streaming, going live, right, for maybe 2 months or so at that point. And I hadn't really been doing any promotion to these. I was just like going live, and we're really mostly just to create content and figure out what people were resonating with. But this one went nuts because people were figuring out like how to pick the game that they should be streaming in order to get the most audience. And it's based on how many viewers of that type of game or of that game there are, and average watch times, and what time of day they're watching it, and how many other people are streaming it, and if there's any like big dogs playing it as well, and like all these different factors came in. But it was blowing people's mind. And like the thing that got me was that it was a super like simple concept I was talking about. It wasn't necessarily that I was showing them Sullynome, okay? And like anybody could have researched this stuff themselves. They could have gone and just Googled, information about what people are watching and all that stuff. But it was the concept of market research that was really resonating with people, because they had never considered, despite the fact that so many of them are trying to create, specifically streamers are trying to create their brand and turn it into a business that they can make money off of. So many of them hadn't put a lick of thought into the fact that they really need to go in and put some forethought into how they're treating this, rather than just picking up that controller and starting to play and hoping people show up and chatting and maybe tweeting here and there, posting on TikTok or yada, yada, right? It was something beyond just the action. And it was the business part of it. The market research was so instrumental. And I believe immediately thereafter, within the next couple of days, I had people messaging me going, Brad, that training, like I went from 3 viewers to like 15 viewers in like one stream because I just changed the game I was playing. I'm like, well, yeah, right. So, but that's just one example. And that example applies to so many other types of businesses. I, just got off a call with a client. And this client I'm not allowed to say what this client's doing, but this client's, the first thing I told them while building a business plan was they have to have the market research. Okay. It's not enough to have a dream. It's not enough to kind of know what actions you need to take. You need to know if your business is a good idea in the first place. Who are your competitors out there? And, not just, there's other people. Like, who are your competitors in your specific niche? Like, how many viewers or how many purchasers, how many customers are there for your particular type of product or service? What is the average income for their competitors? How much is other people making? Is it a field that you actually want to get into because there's enough money there? Or is it like just bone dry and you're just doing it because you have a passion for it? It's so important to understand that if you're trying to create a real business, the ultimate goal is profit. It's not just to enjoy yourself. It's not necessarily to help other people. It's profit. Because if you're not making profit, it doesn't matter if you have the greatest product on the planet. If you're not making money, no one's going to know about it, and not enough people are going to get it because you're not able to advertise, you're not able to do the marketing in the way you need to in order to get it into the hands of the people who really desire it. All right. So it all comes down to the types of market research you need to do. And that's the real difference between the people who are fantastic and the people who are failures and flops. It's, flops, they just go at it. I have an idea. I'm going to just hustle and grind. I'm just going to make this happen. And then they go 1, 2, 3 years. And what ends up happening? Not much, right? You hear those stories of people who have been on Twitch for like 8 years, back when it was Justin.tv, right? They've been on it forever. They've been streaming forever, but they can never really break the 5 to 10 viewer mark, right? They're constantly struggling, and they just keep doing the same thing day in, day out, over and over again. Nothing ever changes. But the people who are fantastic, they don't necessarily see it that way. They see the forest, not necessarily just the trees. The trees are the individual things that they're going to have to do, but they see the big picture. They take a look at it, and knowing what that forest is in the first place. What are the contours of that forest? How many trees are in that forest? So important. You have to know what business you're in. Okay. You may think you know what business you're in, but until you do the research, you're not going to know. Fantastic example was Ray Kroc, right? The guy who, I don't want to say founded McDonald's, but he founded the McDonald's Corporation, which took over McDonald's from the McDonald's brothers. And so he was giving a lecture once to a group of university students. And afterwards, they took him out to lunch and they were talking about it and how he got so successful. And he looks at these kids and he goes, "Do you know what business I'm in?" And they all looked at him like he was crazy because, like, "You sell hamburgers." He's like, "No, I'm in the real estate business." And in fact, it's so true. McDonald's is one of the largest landowners in the world. It's like right behind the Catholic Church, or just churches generally, right? They own real estate. That's their real business. In fact, if you think of this, this might blow your mind. When you go and you see a McDonald's somewhere, you will probably see other fast food restaurants around it. And that's because McDonald's went and they purchased all the land in that area, and then they leased it out to other fast food places. Well, why would they do that? Like, wouldn't that hurt their business? Well, one, the individual McDonald's that's there is a franchise. So the main company largely gets their cut regardless, right? But other than that, they get rents on everybody else. And now it becomes a destination spot for people to go to if they want fast food. Okay. So it's not just in the middle of podunk nowhere with one little McDonald's. No, they built up a city or the shopping district around themselves by finding the location, renting out the space, or buying the space, and then making it a place that people wanted to go to. And once it was a place people wanted to go to, other businesses wanted to pop up around it. All right. So what is the business that you're in? If you are in content creators, like I was talking about streamers and whatnot, if you're a content creator, is it really the content creation? I don't know. It's probably more so you're in the brand building or in the promotion or the look at me business. It's all about getting people to look at you and to know you and want to be with you and talking about you and buying your stuff. Okay. If you're not in that mindset, if you're just there to play video games and chat with your chat, you're never, ever going to do it. You might get lucky. I want to say never, ever. You might get lucky. It happens, but you have to go into it with a mindset. If you're an esports team, is it really just to win championships? I mean, not necessarily, because if you think about it, the Browns still have fans for some reason. I don't know why, but they built the culture. They built the community around their name, about that team. And now the people of Cleveland and surrounding areas, they identify with the Browns and they're lifelong Browns fans, even though they're perpetual underdogs and never going to ever win anything. You don't have to be a winner in order to be making a lot of money. Okay. You have to understand this. It's not necessarily about the thing you think you need to do, which is why you need to do the research. It's so important for you to go and figure out what business you're really in. And then what are the contours of that business? Who else is in the space? What products are doing well? What services are doing well? Who is doing well? That sort of thing. How are they doing well? Like if you haven't spent any time to figure out how your competition is doing what they're doing and have gotten to where they've gotten, you're not going to be able to pull it off yourself because you're going to try to reinvent the wheel, try to figure it all yourself instead of just following proven roadmaps. So that's what I got for you today, the difference between the fantastic and the flops. On that note, I'm going to remind you all, organization is the enemy of sloth. Take a piece of paper, and here I've just got a little note card piece of paper, right? And you just start outlining different topics that you think you need to know about: competitors, products, services, types of content, types of games, that sort of thing. Really, and then drill down into those. Don't just do high level. Oh yeah, lots of people watch Rocket League. Yeah, lots of people watch Rocket League, but how many? Where are they at? Like, what kind of people? Are they 18 to 35-year-olds? Or like, is it more predominantly 18 to 25? Like, because that matters for your marketing. Like, who is it? What is it you're doing? And once you've rounded it all out, then start coming up with a plan on how to move forward. The more information you're able to gather, the easier it's going to be for you to develop that plan, especially if you want to go off and try to find an investor, because an investor is going to be looking to see whether you've done your homework. All right, because they want to know if you're the kind of person who cares enough to dig deep and figure out where the diamonds in the rough are. That's what I got for you. Don't be just a gamer, be a gamerpreneur.